This one? It's pointing over there. It's white shot? Okay.
White shot?
What?
That's racist. Great. Last but certainly not least for this episode, we have Palestine Limited, Neoliberalism and Nationalism in the Occupied Territory by Toufic Haddad. No relation to my co-host, I will add. And this text basically explores how neoliberal frameworks have shaped and informed the common understandings of international Israeli and Palestinian interactions throughout the Oslo peace process. Drawing upon more than 20 years of policy literature, field-based interviews, and recently declassified or leaked documents, Toufic Haddad details how these frameworks have led to struggles over influencing Palestinian political and economic behavior and attempts to mold the class character of Palestinian society and its leadership. A dystopian vision of Palestine emerges, as you might imagine. And I won't spoil the rest of it for you. I won't tell you how it ends. It's been published by EP2, and it was published in 2016, and it covers a range of topics. There are 3 parts. The first part is a background, including neoliberal approaches to conflict resolution and state building. Part 2 is peace building, 1993 to 2000. And part 3 is state building, to the more or less the present. And I'll turn this over to Bassam if you want to.
I just want to say that the book actually was very well received and it's very well researched by Toufic, and it actually represents a trajectory of a number of works and researches on this topic of neoliberalism, for the most part by a range of writers from Raja Khaldi to Karim Rabia to Adam Haniye and many others. And I think it is important to link this book or link this book to the study of political economy of the Middle East. And Toufic does a good job here in trying to look at the big picture and then zoom in onto Palestine. I hope to assign this as I give a course on political economy of the Middle East when we're addressing the Palestinian case. I have to turn to Noura if she has any comments on this.
I think that you've provided an excellent context of where this is in a literature on political economy in the Middle East. The one thing that I will add, in addition to what Nadya has emphasized about just, the research that's gone into this is a very sobering text that also, forces us to rethink what is impeding the realization of Palestinian freedom. And it's not just, if we take away, the edifice of U.S. support for Israel, and we take away the collusion even between, the Palestinian security coordination with Israel, you still have the entrenchment of a lot of private economic actors, the banking sector, financialization, creditors, people who acquire debt that might sustain the status quo even in the absence of these larger looming challenges. And so what Toufic is doing is, I'm not sure if that's necessarily his goal, because what he's showing us is how the state building project is actually a neoliberal project that's predicated on a police state and a private, market and a private market and a captured one. But what, I'm reading into this is just how difficult it would be for us to extricate ourselves from these vested interests and how they are both loose and decentralized in a way that poses a significant challenge and poses us to think, to have to question for ourselves internally, especially for Palestinians, what does it mean to get free?
And the theme through this book and many books basically that are addressing the turn which is happening and has been happening for more than 2, sometimes 3 decades, is the idea of a new class emerging with an interest in neoliberalism. So it is not just that the ideology is being adopted by the same players, but you have in Palestine, in Lebanon, even among resistance groups, of course in Egypt and Syria prior to the uprising, and in various other countries, you have the emergence of this new political class that is usually the same class that has been ruling for some decades actually, that experienced a change in its social background and then began to see their interests in policies that are actually more and more neoliberal, even including those who actually started out pushing and advocating for and implementing socialist policies. With this, I guess we are, unless my fantastic and wonderful colleagues have anything to say, we conclude this episode of the Nerdiest Show on the Internet, Books Received. And down here, I've always wanted to do this. If you look down here, you'll find a link.
Bassam!
Yeah, serious.
You can see the link where you can actually get more information on these books. We will actually be, as I shared, providing not just the information that we shared, but in text form, but also links to reviews and other material connected to these books, these authors, and these themes. Thank you very much. Thanks, Noura, very much. Thanks, Nadya.
Thanks you.
I would like to thank Khalid, our
Khalid.
our fantastic director, producer, and Noah Black, who has been helping setting up this setup. And now we actually have to eat. Assalamu alaikum.
Happy iftar.
It's good.
Mabruk.
Mabruk.
We're gonna feed you.